right.
Two 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0. Let's talk about that, shall we?
Watch this. See, he's good.
Welcome, guys, to the on-the-spot making of panel. Let's
Also known as How Not to Get Fired at Rooster Teeth.
know how almost to get fired at Rooster Teeth.
How to make HR cry.
Intros. Michael?
My name is Michael Lindblad. I'm the director and technical director for On the Spot.
Hi, my name is Tyler. I don't know why I'm here. Thank you.
Tyler was producer for season 7 and 8.
Allegedly, yes.
I don't know. I'm John, and I'm the host of On the Spot.
And I'm Patrick. I'm one of the creators and executive producers of On the Spot. John and I are creators.
We are the creators. You're wearing the new Slow-Mo Guy shirt. I like it. Just FYI. Yeah, we are the creators. Also, randomly, the other person that was helpful in the creation of the show was Chris Damaris. Mm-hmm. Little known fact.
Yeah. Yeah. It was actually a meeting with Chris when the name came to be.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because we were talking to Chris about, we didn't have a title, and we were trying to figure out exactly what we wanted to do. We had gotten some direction from Matt.
Mm-hmm.
And so Chris is like,
as he does.
so basically you're putting people on the spot, and I was like, ding, that's the title.
Yeah, and then it was kind of one night at Patrick's house. We just workshopped all the first games of the show and kind of made what the show was that night and like played them with each other and tried them out, and yeah, that's what it became.
We played the games with each other.
We played with each other. And Patrick's cat. What's your cat's name?
Sophia.
She talks a lot.
Yeah,
She's a chatty cat.
yeah, she is. Oh. I think she's talking about you, Tyler.
What?
Tyler drank too much last night, went to Barbarella, and hit on someone's mom.
I didn't mean to. That's. This guy saw me in the hallway. He's like, "You hit on my mom last night." I'm like, "No, I didn't. I don't know. I have no idea what he's talking about." But it might have happened. I don't know. I'm friendly, so. Yeah, that's right. Yes. All right. Let's get off moms and on to something else. Not get off moms. I mean, you can get off moms different ways, but that's a double entendre. Let's talk about On the Spot.
Well, I'm curious, what is everyone's favorite game on the show?
Really?
Think about it. Really?
Quick thinking.
Hunting linguistics.
ABCs. Wait, what'd you say? What'd you say? Oh man, we got jokes.
Yeah.
Anybody catch the latest episode with the brand new game? Hold My Contempt. We're gonna try that tonight,
Yeah.
which should be fun. It's a bit of a theatrical game, and we're doing theatrics tonight. No.
No.
If you're at the VI party, you had him last night. He was there, drunk. No. Who's going to be on tonight? Who is scheduled to be on, and I don't know what's going to happen, but who's scheduled to be on is Bruce and James versus Tim and Greg from Kinda Funny. I wanted two entertainer groups to be on, and I consider them very good entertainers. So, should be fun and should have a lot of energy. Yeah, the Andy incident this last week was the first time I've legitimately been scared on the show.
Yeah. Has everyone seen that episode? No? Yeah. No? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was
Live on the internet.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where when I'm in the studio, I kind of have to go from having fun to like I go into dad mode, and I'm like, oh God, when do I call for first aid, or when do I need to walk on and say something? Or I don't have very many of those, but that day was definitely one of those.
Yeah, you made a noise humans aren't supposed to make.
Yeah.
That was scary. So yeah, that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah. So we're going to show you a little bit about the puppet episode. As promised, we're going to show you, thanks to Michael, he put together a little snippet of what that was like for John.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that, and then we have a little montage of redemption challenges, and we'll talk about that as well. We're going to take your questions also. So, let's see, which one are you? Here we go. Can we get the lights, please?
I can't.
Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Team 1. I am such a fan of that image of you and I just giggling on the floor behind that desk with two puppets.
That was, I think that's a really good indicator of what it's like for us to work on this show, because that whole thing with Pongo was improvised. Like John, I told John I'm going to have him in the chair, I'm going to do some things, but we really just did that as the show happened. And he really didn't know I was going to attack him at the end like that.
Fun.
So
we have fun.
yeah, that was great. Let's open it up to some questions. We got a mic here, so.
And to point it out, that episode, the puppets thing, was the hardest physical thing I've ever done in my life. I've been a huge, obviously I'm a major Muppets fan, and just they're my dream, and that's why when this became part of that first week goal thing, when it happened, I was so excited, and when they sent the puppet, I was going crazy. And then when we did the show, like, you don't think this is very hard. And this plus an extra, the puppet was probably at a few pounds. So this plus an extra few pounds, and doing it, the show is 45 plus minutes. So it's this for 45 minutes. And I, whenever the camera was off me, I took breaks. I even swapped hands. I was dying by the end. It was amazing. I don't want to ever do it again like that. I think there's a reason why Jim Henson puppeteers stand while they're doing it. I think that helps support, and I was sitting. But yeah, hardest physical thing I've ever done in my life.
I want to go on record as saying that Michael and I knew that was going to be hard for you, and you wouldn't listen to us.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
You were right.
Question?
All right, so have you ever had any ideas for a game that when you got to like playing around with it, it just didn't work out and you didn't use it for the show?
Yeah.
We have a whole episode that didn't work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, if you think we put some shit out before, there was an episode that we're like, whoa, we can't. This is never going to see the light of day.
Yeah, I mean, we have games. If you guys go through and watch the show, you'll see there's maybe one or two games that we have tried, maybe one or two times, and then we stopped because they weren't working. So sometimes they see the light of day, and then they go away forever. We have a couple that we've written down that we think could be good games, but they just don't feel like they're there yet. So yeah, it's definitely trial and error. I mean, there's even games that we'd love to do that we just can't logistically figure out how to do them. Like, I'd love to do more music stuff, but just it's very hard to do that on the internet and do that with rights and everything like that. So yeah, we're limited, and there are things that just don't make it.
Hello. Does
Hi.
anyone actually know what the official name for the On the Spot theme song is?
The on the spot theme
I
song.
used to know.
Oh, like the music we used originally to make it.
Wait, you made it? Yourselves?
No. The first version of it, which is the old version now, we bought from a service because we didn't realize the show was going to go this long.
Yep.
So
We thought 10 episodes at best.
yeah, I don't recall the name of the song at all.
It's at this point, it's with because it's a it's a gathering of a few kind of pieces that were written, and then it's the theme song you guys hear every time the show goes is my brother. My brother re-recorded and remastered a version of it. So the version that you guys hear now is my brother. And so for all intents and purposes, what you hear, it's titled On the Spot theme song.
Yeah, and I was really glad that we remastered it, because I don't know if you guys ever caught on this, but the original that we actually purchased was horrible. The quality of it was really, really bad. Like, it was distorted, and we didn't realize it until after we had bought it, and we were playing it. We were well into the first season. I was like, wow, this song sucks. This is really bad. But it was so good that we just kept it. So I was really glad when we were able to re-record it and make it sound a lot better.
Oddly enough, for a show that is about improv comedy, the biggest crowning achievement of the show, I think, is being the most recognizable music at Rooster Teeth. I don't hear people running around the convention center yelling other theme songs, but something like bad happens and people just da 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 da, like that's what happens. I'm like, that's our claim to fame? All right.
Yeah.
What was it? Do you know the service which you brought it from?
Ugh. No.
Damn it.
I really don't remember.
The internet.
Yeah, like that.
Coming your way.
Hi. I was wondering, out of all the guests that you've had, both on live shows and on the YouTube channel, which one was like your favorite to work with?
Michael, who was yours?
I mean, I'd hate to say it, but Jeremy, every time he kind of comes on, I know he's not a special guest, but anytime he's on, he throws us a crazy show.
Tyler, why are you your favorite guest?
You make me be on the show. Every time I'm on the show, or John asks me, he comes into my office and it's like he's bearing bad news. He's like, I need you to be on the show today. I'm like, okay, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
It's because I love you.
I need you to put a rabbit head on your face.
Yes. No, all the guests are awesome. Jeremy is hilarious. He's one of my favorite people by far. All the Funhouse guys, everybody pretty much, except for Joel. Joel's terrible.
That's a good answer. I think I've said this before and I still stand by it. Kirk Johnson. I fucking love that idiot. I obviously, anytime I can have the Funhouse people out, I want to have them on just because they're my favorites of just the world. But anytime I can have Kirk on and I can make him do horrible stuff, my day's better.
I'm going to say it was Jeremy by a clear choice, and just because when we ask him to be on the show, he comes so prepared. Like, he always has a bit, or he always comes trashed, or he's ready for it. He knows what you guys want from him for that show, and he always comes with it. And when you're a producer, that's gold. That's what you want. But I will say, and I'm not just saying that because his parents are in the room, but after episode 100, Miles is one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
When he did the singing, was it the singing that he did?
Yeah.
He had to do the diddle card.
Sang with an Australian accent.
And oh my God, he killed it. I was just like,
oh, in Pig Latin, yeah. There are certain cast members that are on the show only limited by the amount of times I'm allowed to have them on due to their time constraints. Miles is one of them. He's so busy. I literally would have him on every single episode if I could.
Him and Carrie both,
Carrie as well. Just so busy, but goddamn, they're funny.
Yeah, I think one of our new dream teams is definitely when we can get Miles and Jeremy together. It's gold. It's awesome. Who's got the mic? Oh.
Cool. Okay, it actually works. Yay. So, for the redemption challenges, how do you come up with half of those?
That's me.
Because they are sometimes very demented, but at the same time freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
I would say that's one part me, one part Tyler.
Yeah, see, Patrick is a safeguard between my mind and the show because I want to go as messed up as possible, and I always bring you guys the worst ideas for that, demented, and so we find a good middle ground right there. But yeah, Patrick comes up with most of them. So
yeah.
I'm always trying to throw in nudity whenever I can. for sure. I always want them to get I want physical pain. I want damage done, but we don't go there. So
Yeah. Well, it's funny you bring that up because that whole sushi redemption challenge was his idea.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one that was like, "I'll do it." I'm like, "You really want me to put wasabi on your nipples?" And he's like, "Sure."
Felt great.
I'm like, "Okay." So, but yeah, the redemption challenges are kind of one of those things where we have to balance between, have we done this too many times? What's really funny? What's the team going to play to? If we have guests on the show, we can't ask them to eat something gross because we don't, it's kind of shitty of us to say, hey, come be on our show and then eat this.
Unless you're Kirk.
So we always have to find out, what's going to work. And then, honestly, sometimes we run just completely out of ideas and that's when the cookie roll comes out. So, but it's a great gag, so it works. But usually if it's anything edible, that's on me. As a matter of fact, just the other day when Andy was on, I ran into him in the break room and he's like, "Did you do Redemption Challenge today?" And I'm like, "No," because thank God. Because you come up with some gnarly shit. Who's got the mic? Oh, just find somebody.
Hi. Going on from the last question, what is probably the darkest idea for a Redemption Challenge or anything on the show you've came up with? Yes.
I would say probably the blended, fast food stuff, like a fish fillet blended. Those I can't smell, but those even just looked disgusting.
Yeah. My kitchen smelled really bad after doing that.
Oh, we did actually one time. We tried out. I wonder if I still have this footage somewhere. So I had 3 ideas for redemption challenges, and I want to test all 3 out really quick to see if they worked. So I grabbed Stan and Cole, and we went to the break room, and we tried out the hot chocolate powder challenge on them, and then we also tried one other one. I can't remember what it was. And then the last one was, I'd heard that if you take a little bit of root beer extract, it's the worst thing in the world. And it was to see if you could do a shot of that. And yeah, they were dying.
No, the second one was they had to eat an entire clove of garlic.
That's what it was. Yeah, they were dying so bad.
Yeah, Cole still brings that up.
Yeah.
He still brings that up.
It was terrible.
Yeah. I felt that's a one time I felt really bad for somebody.
Yeah, and I think those ones we didn't do them because it seemed like because they got to play a game again after the redemption challenge, so they got to be able to talk. So if you can't talk because you're just dying from garlic in your mouth, then yeah, we won't do that.
Next,
Hello.
Hi.
Anyways, thank you. I was gonna say. Thank you for the Muppets. My childhood right there, my mother's, who always loves to bring that up. Fun fact. So, just curiosity with the whole Muppet thing now. Is the little purple Muppet going to make cameos here and there just to mess with you guys on stage?
I mean, that's Pongo. Oh, he's not on stage right now.
Oh, okay, not this time.
We think.
Just checking real quick. It's fucking Patrick will do stuff. Yeah, Pongo's part of Rooster Teeth. He shows up and stuff. He's a part of the family.
Yeah, he was it episode 100? Mm-hmm. Yeah, episode 100, I had him on standby because we knew it was a big episode and, we wanted it to be something, memorable. So I had him on standby just in case things weren't working out, but that show turned into its own shit show in a glorious way. So he never made it out on stage. But yeah, he will definitely make another appearance. Yeah.
Hey, Tyler, why do you sometimes lurk in the back in the audience?
Number one on the spot fan.
Yes, absolutely. No, I just like to troll. And usually it's because I have nothing to do. and I wanted to come watch the show that I produce every week.
You don't watch the goddamn show every week.
I do. I see him all the
You're
time.
lying right now.
No, not at all.
I do. One of my favorite shots though is when we one time didn't have an audience and we just cut to you.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, like I'm mixed on that because it's so great to see you guys out there actually come to the show. That's so much fun. It adds a different thing to it. But I do miss kind of our coworkers coming in and sitting in, and like you never know who you were going to get because somebody could jump in or do something. Like it was its own character.
I do have to ask though, speaking of that, like, do you guys like the audience that we have now? I mean, now that we have an outside audience, or does it matter, or have you noticed a difference? I'm just curious.
Yeah, diddle cards seem to be a hit. I'm very happy with those.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we ever explained why it got changed that way, but basically we used to have everybody in stage 5, and so there's a huge staff that could take a break and come watch the show. And then when animation went to their own building, we lost a huge part of the people. And there's not a lot of people in stage 5 anymore that are working there in office, and the ones that are in there don't have time just to kind of go over and watch the show. So it was kind of, we always wanted a live audience from the community, and this was just the boost that made it so we were like, all right, let's make this happen. And I like it.
Yeah, I do too. We have had some instances though where the audience isn't exactly, you know, you're either a person who laughs out loud or you're a person who laughs inside. And we had an audience full of people who laugh inside. And I remember
super
Michael,
fun for comedians.
Yeah, I remember Michael doing, because he's direct, so he calls the whole swoop crane that goes over the audience, and the open starts, and then it comes to the open where they're supposed to be clapping. Everybody's like, and there's no hooping, no hollering. It's just like quiet. So we actually just removed that altogether, just in case, because we don't know what the audience is going to be like until we actually get into the show. So that's been tough. Next.
Wow. Yeah, I did. I did during my last panel.
So, question mainly for Patrick. What is the hardest part, like from the booth standpoint of On the Spot?
Actually, that's more of a question now for Michael. As of season 8, I gave the reins to him in the booth.
Definitely one of the hardest parts right now is still just the coordination of timing everything to the dot, following John, wondering where he's going to go next. But we have a good team in there that just talks, and it's ready this, and at a flip of a switch, it's hit and cued, and we get everything timed up. So just the timing of everything's probably the hardest part, but I'd still say it's the funnest part of On the Spot.
Yeah, when things go awry, we have a great team of people on camera and who know how to capture things, but just making sure that everything is where it's supposed to be when it's supposed to be is part of the fun of it.
Still makes me laugh so much when they get a camera stuck on someone's like close up or something like that.
It's hilarious.
Like the eyebrow cam was just an all-time favorite of mine.
Hey, you know what? That was me.
That was you?
That was all me. I was the originator of that. I know. That was a great episode.
Yeah, fuck you, Aaron.
You got one right there. Right. Oh.
Okay. So since you've had a live audience now, would you ever consider doing a fan complete On the Spot?
No.
Like as contestants? Why? Why not?
Because one, I appreciate the fans too much to make them go through that. And two, I'm serious. The show is a shit show that's hard. That's super difficult and takes so much coordination from us. So yeah, I mean not that I don't have confidence in the fans, but it's hard. The show is very hard, and that's why you see moments where we make not funny jokes, because we are doing not only improv and not only a game show, but we're doing it in the hardest way possible. We're doing it live, without editing, straight to the internet, and it's like we have people like professional actors and comedians come on, and they still have a difficult time. Like Shannon McCormick was on this last episode, and he's a very talented guy, and he did a fantastic job. But if you ask him, he'd be like, "Yeah, that's hard. It's really difficult. It's why I sit behind the desk." So yeah, it's. Yeah, I know that sounds really fun, and I love to hear when people put on their own little on-the-spot stuff, like at their homes or schools and that kind of thing. It's so fantastic. But I would never put a fan in front of the camera like that, and then just like it would just be terrible for them, because also the internet is rough, and it would just be putting someone in a position where that I shouldn't put them in that position. That's just my honest answer.
Yeah, maybe next year we'll figure out a way to do it.
We're always looking for more fan involvement,
Yeah.
which is why the diddle cards happen, which is why we did Ask Swipe, that kind of thing. Love to involve, like, any way we can get the fans involved with it, I'm happy.
You mentioned during the show sometimes that you do rehearsals beforehand, and I'm assuming you play full games, like a full game maybe, during that rehearsal, right? What I'm wondering is, was there an example of something that happened during a rehearsal that you wish to God had made it on the live broadcast?
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
All the
Actually, what you saw in between the puppet scenes here was all stuff that happened during rehearsals. Not always, but there are definitely times when the rehearsal, I think, is funnier than the actual episode.
That shot you saw of Joel putting a sock on Jeremy's head, that entire game was fucking hilarious. Joel was just out of his mind. Joel just showed up and decided to be extra bizarre, and he decided to even do it during rehearsal, and it was fucking hilarious. We were like, that's just as much fun as the show is when we get to be in rehearsal and we're all just dying.
Yeah, we thought about releasing a compilation of rehearsal bits, when we take breaks in the holiday and stuff like that. And did we do that last year?
I don't think we still released like rehearsal stuff.
We did best of clips, but I don't think we did rehearsals.
Okay, maybe we'll do that this year.
Yeah.
Release some rehearsal stuff. Because we know how much you love clip episodes.
Yeah, no backlash from that. Actually, the most recent episode with Andy, we did Hold My Contempt, and we rehearsed it, and it was fucking hilarious because Andy was also already drunk by then and learning a new game, and he just refused. He kept facing directly at the person he was questioning, but his back was to the camera, so we kept saying, Andy, go to the camera, and he would just swing all the way around, face the camera and no one else, and just, oh man. He was blasted already by that point. It was fun. So that'd be a fun one to release.
You guys saw a clip of it in there of Kirk and Nick doing like an interrogation, and that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen on the show ever.
Yeah.
We have to release that at some point.
So we do have fun times on rehearsal.
Yeah. Next.
So I apologize first off. I haven't seen every episode.
How dare you?
God.
But I know y'all do themed episodes every now and again. Could we ever see a Red Army versus Blue Army episode? I would love to see Bernie deal with Joel.
Why haven't we thought of that?
Huh?
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few ideas thrown at us for themed episodes. I know everyone wants a Ruby episode with the original girls, and it's mostly like scheduling is fucking hard at Rooster Teeth, and you're asking for the 4 main guys who run the company and that kind of thing. Like I can barely get Bernie on there at all, and same with Matt, just because they're constantly doing stuff. So it's in the dream. It's someday we want to make it happen, and hopefully when that day comes, I'll be so excited to get it presented to you guys. But yeah. Yeah, and they're all not doing anything.
Sure. I get really nervous whenever Matt is on the show. He's only been on it a few times, but if you ever watch him, if he's ever on the show or you watch one of those episodes where he's on, all he does is watch the camera angles. And as a director, that is very unsettling because they're critiquing your directing. So the whole time he's just looking at the shot, and I'm like, fuck.
So I know there's been several shit show episodes. Number 10 is my favorite. Carrie's bleach camera episode. What's your favorite shit show episode?
I did bleach cam, by the way. I want credit for that.
You have brought so much to this show. How could we have made it without you? Why don't you start down the line?
I think when Achievement Hunter stormed in, no one knew. We tried asking. No one knew the bit. No one knew anything. It's just someone said, Achievement Hunter's here. And next thing I see is the cameras are all being blocked. They all have weapons, and they're just sitting there.
That's a funny image of you just in the control room. Everything went black. We couldn't see anything.
That was, I remember that day because like I was walking to another part of the campus and I just see Achievement Hunter walking down the street with, knives and axes and swords. I'm like, and you don't even bat an eye at that. You're like, oh, they're probably doing something. So I figured it was coming to ruin your show. I didn't tell you, but so. Yeah.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you have a shit show that you like, Tyler?
I don't know. I like the show. It's a good show.
No.
I don't know about that one.
I have a few favorites. One's got to be the Slumbo Guys episode, and it just culminating in Michael hoovering the ground, tackling Gavin in the chair, and then Gavin going back. So that was great. And then the first time I ever had Lawrence on, and he did a barrel roll over the table and literally pulled the table with him, and I had to pull it back because he was going to take the table down with him.
How I don't remember that.
Yeah, he did the whole like action roll over it, and because of his momentum and girth, he took it started going with him.
Yeah, the Slow-Mo episode was one of my favorites too. It just it was the first time we had them on there, and the guys couldn't have cared less to be on the show. So
at the beginning.
Yeah. So they were just having fun, and it just turned into a lot of craziness.
That was what's so great about it, was that especially like Dan didn't really. I don't think Dan knew what he got signed up for, and so they really they were not really into it. But then once the points and competition started happening, then it got it became something, and they became really interested in it. And I love that. I love the points mean jack shit. But if I give someone points when someone else wants them, it creates competition. It's so fun.
And I won't ever admit this to his face, but I think the one where Jeremy was really drunk, which I don't remember which one. I think this is the first time he was really drunk.
Is that the one where I bought sex from him?
Probably.
Yeah, with his wife watching.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
I bought me a little boy.
All right, so when you set the show up, is it, you've got the games and things you're going to do, okay, I want these people on the show to do this, or is it, I've got this cast I'm going to do, so I want to do these games, or?
In a perfect world, that's how it works.
Yeah, we'll cast the episode sometimes sooner, sometimes very last minute, because of how difficult scheduling has become at Rooster Teeth because everyone's so busy. And then usually the games will get picked out before then, but I'll usually pick prompts tailored to the cast, and that's just me, doing due diligence and not setting people up for something that wouldn't be very funny if they did it. But then, yeah, that's kind of the order it goes.
Yeah, hopefully we get scheduled or get a cast first, then we can customize the show to them, and then really play to their strengths, from the prompts all the way to the redemption challenge, because we want them to have fun. And so, but a lot of times we have to create a show and then get the cast, and so sometimes we're tweaking the prompts and the challenge according to whoever's on, because certain people, if they're on, they don't want to eat anything or they don't want to drink anything, and so if we've already tested that and done that, then we have to turn around and come up with something new.
He was waiting for me. Anyway, I know that you were talking about before how you want other people to do their own versions of On the Spot as well, maybe in different areas. I'm from Tampa, Florida, and I run my own little panel production crew team for conventions there. and I was thinking about making like an On the Watch, making it Overwatch edition, where we would be playing like as the characters. I would be hosting it as Mercy. And how well do you think that would go over, as well as would you want us to make sure that we video record it and maybe send it to you guys?
I mean, it's going to go over as well as you guys put it on. Yeah, I can't really guess how well it'll be received. It's improv comedy, and people like improv comedy as long as it's good, you know? And yeah, I mean, if you take a video and you want to tweet it at me or something like that, I'd be happy to take a look at it.
Got some over here in the middle.
Oh, okay. All right, so I know On the Spot is an improv show. Have you guys ever done improv like beforehand? Like, did you ever do theater in high school, or did you guys just suddenly start doing improv?
Tyler loves doing improv, does it every Friday.
Yep.
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't. I have the least amount of respect, I think, out of all the contestants.
From people in the office?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I actually did go to theater when I was younger. That's all I got to say about that.
I grew up doing theater, live musical theater and that kind of thing. It was just part of the things I added to my repertoire of my personality that made it so I didn't date anybody. Just going to stack those things up, make a wall of no dating around me. But yeah, I did that a lot. I didn't do improv, and I've never done stand-up. But I had dreams of doing that someday, and then this was kind of the way of me getting to do it.
Yeah, I've never done anything as far as formal, like getting up in front of, doing it in a group or anything like that, or a class or anything. But I've just always been a big lover of comedy, and I've always kind of studied it on my own. And I grew up watching classics like the Carol Burnett Show and things like that. And that kind of comedy is really hard to do. And I think a lot of sketch shows is what I grew up watching. And that's why I love this show so much, is because it allows me to kind of bring that to life in a way that's a lot of fun.
Michael, I don't know your background. Did you do theater stuff or something like that? Is that why you do what you do?
No, I've got no theater background. I've just had game nights with friends in high school. That's about it.
Okay.
I auditioned a lot, but I always got put on the tech team, so. But that worked out. Hey, I'm not,
Yeah. Next.
Sorry if this has already been done and I accidentally proved that I'm not a true fan, but can we get a full episode where John plays and Zach Anner host the show?
No.
No, I think this guy's onto something. I think that's a great idea.
Why would I give that asshole what he wants so badly? I can suffer with someone else. I don't want to give Zach what he wants. I've been on a team before and I've done it.
You're scared because you know he would be a better host.
That was a legitimate fear at one point in my life. Not Zach, but I was like, if people see someone else do this, they're going to want someone else. Because I was not sure of myself. On the Spot was the first show I'd ever done, and I didn't know if the Rooster Teeth audience would like it or like me and that kind of thing. But thank you.
He's the best.
But that's... Since I see you guys like the show, and since I see no one wants to host the show because it's fucking hard, I have no problem letting other people like jump in every once in a while, like they did in that one episode with Chris and Aaron or Joel and that kind of thing, as a little fun every once in a while. Maybe someday if Zach is super nice to me. Huh? Yeah.
Zach's one of those people that when he's on, it's like, it's just, we're all just rolling. We're all just crying.
He's so funny.
Pretty funny.
He's so funny.
So, do you have any advice for anyone who wants to get into producing or production in general in the future? Like that?
I would say if you're in school, there's usually some kind of production going on that you can get involved with. A lot of times, and I can tell you from experience, just having people come to you and say, hey, I'm willing to help out, what can I do? Because there's always something to do, even the smallest things. And just being able to be around that in any capacity. If you aren't in school or there isn't anything in your school like that, try cable access. If your town or city has it, that's also a really great place to like say, hey, I just want to learn this stuff. You pay, I think, $25 for a class, and they let you learn all the equipment, and you just work on all their cable access shows. And it's a great way to get involved and get some experience. And then if you're in a small town or a medium-sized town, apply at a news station, because news stations are always looking for people. And that's how I got my start, and I got a wealth of experience there, and it's a great place to get started. And I think Michael has also had some background in that as well.
Yeah, I mean, intern at a news station taught me a lot there, but one of the things it also taught, and everyone's going to say this and it might not seem like it, but just do something. College, I found a few friends and we made a show. We just found a green screen in a studio, borrowed a Handycam, and shot our first show. Just tried something. Next season, we found a desk and we just randomly put a desk there. And we had no intention of the show being good. We just went and did it. And we went and just kept practicing, and that's how we learned things that would mess up, things that we need to get better at, and just overall how to make a show.
Let's take a quick break and let's take a look at some of our redemption challenges. If someone can get the light.
I fucking love those.
I think that balloon pop is probably one of my favorite redemption
funny.
challenges.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. I'm shocked no one's gotten hurt.
Didn't like Andy and someone else like almost like knock heads together? Like they were pushing
Yes.
against their heads?
Yeah, it was Stan and Andy. Stan and Andy.
Standy.
I'd still like to say that ice cream sandwich was the worst thing you've ever done, Patrick.
Oh, it was even better because they were excited about it.
Yeah.
Because they thought it was just an ice cream sandwich. And then they bit into it and it was fish. Oh, that's the best.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Damaris came to me after that, and he's like, we need to do that as a RT Life.
Oh, yeah, and get people
He's
ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah, just don't tell them what it is. And then I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I think my favorite still is when Cole took the apple cider vinegar when he didn't need to. It was we did the trivia, and he kept answering the trivia right, and the punishment if you got it wrong was take a shot of apple cider vinegar, but he kept getting it right, and then still took the shots, took like 10 shots of apple cider vinegar, did the show, and then promptly went off stage and threw up.
His stomach was messed up for an entire day. I felt
Fucked him
so
up.
bad for him.
He did it, though.
Next question.
Yeah, on the subject of improv, do you guys have any books that you recommend people read on it?
No. I don't. I'm sorry. Yeah, you want me to write a book on improv? No, I don't. I've never read a book about improv. I've just observed it from an audience perspective, and kind of gleaned, and also just befriended comedians and that kind of thing, and gleaned information in that way. Like Patrick was saying, part of the love for making on the spot came from also just an adoration of stand-up comics. Love going to them. Me and Tyler went and saw Bill Burr once here in Austin, and so anytime a comic's in town that I love, I'll go see him. But yeah, that's where I've learned most of my comedy is from them, and also them talking about how they do their comic stuff.
So I was wondering if you've ever wanted to see a team do a redemption challenge so badly that you forced a score in such a way that makes that team do the redemption challenge.
No.
I feel like you're joking.
Wait. Are you insinuating that I could fix the show?
A little bit, yeah.
Are you
Maybe there's a
insinuating that
little
I could give out
subjectivity in the
points any way
scoring?
I want to make people do shit that I want?
You've got to have fun too somehow.
How dare you? On the spot is the paramount of integrity.
Those scores mean something.
Yeah. And the booth never gets them wrong.
Hey, I was wondering if you would ever make like a at-home game version of On the Spot.
Funny you say that. I'm not saying anything. I just said funny you say that. But we'll talk next year.
Yeah.
Yo, am I gonna get like some kickback from that if that happens?
Fuck you.
I just want to know. Like, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. All right.
Hi, so John, it seems like you sometimes die a little bit on the inside after each show. What do you do to recuperate yourself?
Yeah, you wonder why there's like breaks in between the seasons. John needs to get away. No, I know it seems like that. I absolutely love this show, and I enjoy doing it every single week. It's a bitch to make, and it's horrible to schedule these people that are my friends. But I do the show. We've done 100+ episodes, partly because I've been said I could, and partly because I adore doing the show, and it's super, super fun, even when Tyler's on.
Actually, most of the people that are on the show, almost the first thing they do afterwards is they look at John and they're like, was that okay? Was that good?
Yeah.
Are we okay? Because they care so much about the show being funny. So it's all in jest.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I mean, the stress on the show is real. I'll say that. The John dies a little bit inside. It's because it's fucking stressful to wrestle 4, ADD monkeys sitting on these chairs into just doing the show and not making it 2 hours, So that's what you see, is that it's hard, but I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those shows where when it's in production, we're like, oh, God, we got to do this again this week. And then we get to the show and we just have a blast. And it's so much fun. And then the next day comes and we're like, oh, shit, we got to do the show. Every week.
Yeah, it's work, but it's fun. I mean, every time we roll the credits on an episode, it's like, that was so fun.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest lessons we learned this year was, and I don't know if you guys even caught on to this, but season 8 was like super long. And it was the longest season we've ever had because we were trying to see, we were trying to see how long we could go and keep up with it. And I think it was 18 episodes?
About, yeah.
Yeah, 18. And by episode 12, we were like, we are in trouble. That was a long haul.
Yeah, I would never compare us to like some of the sketch comedy shows and the work that goes into things like SNL and that kind of thing. We're nowhere near that. We're like a crumb of work compared to them. But it's in the same vein of every single week creating an atmosphere that's going to have 45 minutes to an hour of comedy out of nothing is difficult. It's hard. So yeah, drains you.
Hi. So, I don't know if it's possible or not, but would it be possible to do a show where you have the people that work behind the scenes, like in the booth, do a on-the-spot episode? Like Michael?
I'm too busy punching the cameras, but I still argue for Nick to be on the spot one day.
Nick is our audio manager. He's and my food tester.
And that's why I want him on the show.
Everything that I have made that has been on a redemption challenge, Nick has tested.
Why do you hate Nick so much?
No, he volunteers.
Okay.
He's part goat.
It's part goat. Yeah.
It's free food. He'll go for it.
It's free food.
He's volunteer.
I don't know. We've never thought about that.
We've joked about having me on, but
yeah, I mean, if you want a serious answer, a lot of the casting in the show doesn't have to do with who I want to be on. I would have all my friends be on. It has to do with who the audience wants. This is a show that we need people to watch, and we need, it's just like any entertainment media that you're putting out there has to be. And like I said, there's a lot of people that I would love to have on all the time. And I like to pepper them in as much as possible. I think On the Spot's, I think most of you could agree, On the Spot's a very good show that showcases lesser seen talent quite often. I don't see a lot of shows putting people like, Stan or Max or Patrick, people like that, but they're hilarious to me, and they're my friends, and I fucking love them, so I have them on when I can. But it's just like every other show on Rooster Teeth and any other YouTube channel, the audience wants to see who they want to see, and we have to kind of abide by that to a certain extent. So that's why you just don't see certain people that may be in the company you'd want to see. Just because you like them doesn't mean there's another 300,000 people who want to see them, And that's just kind of the bummer and the trade of doing stuff on YouTube. Got fucking real right there.
Yeah, I did.
So, prefacing this with On the Spot was my introduction to Rooster Teeth as a whole.
That's awesome.
Do you have suggestions for people drinking along? Because drink every time John touches his hair is not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, it's not.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know. Like, you want a drinking game? We should make a drinking game for On the Spot.
On the Spot is a drinking game.
Seriously.
Actually, fun fact, I don't drink on the show ever. I'm sober completely because I realize I have to be sober to run that show. I encourage my guests to drink whatever they want and have fun. I have to remember how these games work and what the next game is and that kind of thing. So
I seem to remember there was one episode where you did drink before and you were like, I'm never doing that again.
You had a cider. I brought it to you.
Yeah, there was actually early on in the show, you'll see me drinking sometimes, and there was actually alcohol, and that's because I just kind of assumed that was something that, and it is, it's what a lot of people do in order to loosen up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to play along with this, and then I quickly realized, I'm like, that's just not what I can do as host. I have to know what's going on. One person has to know what's going on, okay?
He's got the diddle finger. Look at him.
So, what would your guys' dream teams would be for in a competition?
Ooh.
Like a competition to the death, or like just in
the last on the spot ever?
Last on the spot?
Yeah. What do you boys think?
I mean, I love when like Gus and Bernie fight, so like them two having to do something against each other would be awesome.
Gus and Bernie against each other paired with shits that they don't like if Andy was stuck with Gus.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
And Bernie had to be with Joel.
Yes.
And that would be the last on the spot ever in my
That'd be
last
great.
day at Rooster Teeth.
Get all of them real fucked up.
Yeah.
No, we tried that. Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Didn't
Gus, drunk Andy. That would be perfect.
Michael, you got a dream team?
I don't know. I mean, that Miles Jeremy combo that Patrick said earlier, I think that'd be a good team, but I don't know who they'd go up against.
I'd like to see Miles and Carrie go up against Jeremy and Joel.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Okay, so this question is more for everyone but John.
Thank you.
Finally.
Even though I love you so much. So whenever you guys are evolving the set and you're changing it up or doing different lighting, and whenever he didn't have the desk and it went back to the desk and different things like that, how hard is it to get the guests coming on and the camera crew, sounding people to follow what John and the guests are doing with whenever the set changes?
It's usually not too big of a deal because we typically map it out and have time to kind of work through it. I don't know if you guys remember when we did the one set change in, was it season 8 or season 9?
Yeah,
season 8.
The first episode of season 8 where everybody told us how much they hated it. That was one of those episodes, that was one of those changes where that actually came from another place, I'll say. And so we were trying to accommodate that. And so we didn't really have the time to map it out and play it out, and it showed in the show. And so that's why when everybody was pissed off and like, what the hell? We're like, nope, we hear you. We're going back. Don't worry about it. Because we felt the same way. But Michael?
Yeah, I mean, we map out certain shots, we map out certain scenarios. We go, hey, if someone's going to stand up, try and take it from this spot. Be prepared for movement. Be prepared for changes and just whatever they're doing. But the best we can do with that type of show is just heads up. Is just be on your toes. Be ready for anything. That'd be the best way that we can just be prepared. We'll give the talent and guest cues to be like, hey, don't do something here because we've got to finish this first thing, but it's typically free for all for them. They do whatever, and we just follow along.
Yeah,
if it helps out any, I have to tell John every week that his camera is camera 3.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why when we brought in the live audience that I moved to the floor as a line producer, because I felt like I could be more help there, and I thought, and Michael was more than ready to start directing the show. So that's why we made the switch there, and it's worked out so that I can talk to John more about certain things, and it's definitely been a better plan for us all the way around. I think this is going to be the last question.
Can we get Mrs. Luna down here?
Mama, get Mama.
We got to get her, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for having Miles. Good job.
Thank you for having Miles. You done did good.
I did, and I loved in that clip, one of my prompts was in the background.
Oh, yeah?
It was, out of all the things. And I have fun doing that occasionally. But my question is, you have all these fantastic male contestants and competitors. Of the females who've either been on or females you would like to have on, who do you think would be, who makes great contestants, and who would be maybe your dream contestant?
Oh, man. Why do you think I hate Mama Luna so much? Why would you say that? Meg said she'd come back, so we'll have her sometime maybe. She's a very busy girl. She's traveling constantly, and I definitely would do a Ruby Girls episode if we could get them all nailed down in here. We invited Jessica Negri once. And when she was here, and it was due to scheduling, she had to leave early for a con, and so I would love Jessica, because I think she's a twisted person. And I want that. Oh, Elise was on
is so funny.
Once,
she was,
right?
Oh my God, we got
No, she was on the puppet episode. No, she's on twice, because she's the puppet episode, and then she was on the Grievous. Gotcha. And so yeah, Elise is welcome anytime, because I am #1 fan of Elise Willems.
I think I would put Elise and Jessica Negri against Lindsay and Maggie.
Yeah, Maggie. Maggie is hilarious. Like, we need to have her on way more. Yeah.
Cool.
That's the end of that. That was a great question.
Oh.
Well.
Let's do another 2 hours, yeah?
Oh, shit. I looked up, and I thought that was Gavin.
We could do...
Let's get to know each other.
Maybe just a few more questions if you guys want. Couple. We got to head over and do actually the show. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go. We're going to go to the show. Okay. What do you got?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was maybe a year or 2 years ago. You guys did a show in LA. Would you guys ever do that again?
No. No, we would.
Yeah, it was super fun. I had a lot of fun doing that.
It was fun for you. It was nerve-wracking for me.
Looks like people got to go to panels, so I don't want to keep people from their panels and that kind of thing I do. But if you guys want to go get in line, bye-bye. For On the Spot, there might still not be a capped line, but I would hurry. Okay.
Then go.
You guys get over there.
Yeah, head over there, guys.
Go watch.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Who's a ham?